Hello fashion lovers, this is the beautiful piece we'll be making in today's tutorial. Starting from the top, it's a long top with a long sleeve and it has about 1 inch band on the wrist area on the sleeve, and it has a symmetric down, so the down part is not straight, it's asymmetry as you can see. And this is the palazzo pant. The back is higher than the front. In today's video I'll be teaching you how to achieve that. This palazzo is actually very comfortable and it's easy to make for beginners. Please watch this video till the end to understand how I achieved this. Let's get started. Welcome back to my channel. Without wasting much of our time, we'll be making these two pieces you can see on the screen, and we'll be starting by cutting the palazzo first before the top. I'm making use of this polka dot material and it's 3 yards. I'm using in total for two pieces. So we'll start by cutting the palazzo pant first. After that, we'll move to the top. So let's get started. If you're familiar with my videos here, I always explain how I cut each of these pieces out for the front part of the palazzo, the back, and so on. I usually use my lap measurement divided by 2 plus your seam allowance. Your seam allowance could be 2 inches, 3 inches, totally depends. For instance, if your thigh measurement is 26 inches, divided by 2 is going to be 13 inches. So you're just going to add your seam allowance to that 13 inches. If you're using 1 inch for the seam allowance, that will be 14. If you're adding 2 inches for your seam, that will be 15 inches. So just cut your 15 inches on fold. That's all. Cut your 15 inches on fold. Then you have the front piece. But for the back piece, when I get there, I'm going to explain the method I use as well. So the length of this palazzo pant is 36 inches. But remember that we'll be dropping 2 inches for the band. So we'll have 34 inches plus extra 2 inches for the seam allowance. That is 36 inches. So I already cut out 36 inches here. As you can see, 36 inches. So now let's start drafting our measurement. I'm dropping 2 inches for the band or for your elastic, 2 inches, and just could even be 1 inch. If it is 1 inch, you will drop only 1 inch, but this one I'm using 2 inches, so I'm dropping 2 inches for my band. Okay, after we drop that for the band, we're going to start imputing our waist to hip measurement. My waist to hip measurement, I usually use 9 inches. Let's use this 9 inches. This is the waistline, 9 inches for the hip. And to determine the crotch line, you can divide your hip measurement divided by 4. The hip measurement I'm working with today is 40 inches. Divided by 4, that is 10 inches. You can decide to use 10 inches, but I like to make it a bit deep. So I use up to 10.5, 11, or even 11.5 inches. So since it's 10 inches for the hip divided by 4, I'll just be adding 1.5. So I'll be making it 11.5 inches for my crotch line. 11.5. So we have two lines, the hip line and the crotch line. On this hip line, we said earlier that the hip is 40 inches divided by 4, that is 10 inches. So you have the 10 inches here, but I'll be adding extra, of course, to make it free because it's a free trouser. So I'll be adding up to even, let me add up to 3 inches to it. 3 inches. On the crotch line, the thigh measurement is 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. 12.5. Then I'll be adding the total amount I have, which is 2 inches. So 2 inches I'll be adding to my crotch line. So now this is your crotch line. Just make a curve like this to your hip line. Hope you can see. Your crotch to your hip line. Then the measurement you have here for your hip, here we have 13 inches. I'm going to be transferring the 13 inches here on my waistline as well, and I will just be extending this up like this. That's it for the up part of our palazzo. Then coming to the end now, this totally depends on how free, how wide you want the palazzo to be. I usually use 12, but today I'll be using 13 inches, including the seam allowance, 13 inches. So this 13 inches, just extend it to this your crotch line. Okay. So I'm going to cut this out. Okay, this is the front piece of our palazzo pant. Remember, this place is on fold. So two ways you can actually leave it like this. This is going to be your front piece if you don't want side seam. But if the only advantage is I won't be able to fix pocket. But if you want pocket, make sure you cut this place open. Just open it up. I've cut this now into two. I like to just secure these two pieces together. So this is our front piece. So this is the piece I'm using for the back piece of the palazzo. So I'm just going to be placing it like this. I use the same method to actually cut the front piece and the back piece, but the only difference is that I increase this. The back piece is 2 inches longer than the front piece. Okay, one thing I want you to first notice here is that the down part is equal, right? It's same, but the back piece is 2 inches higher than the front piece. Okay, I already cut this part, but I don't know, it was not recording, but I'm going to explain what I did here. The 2 inches that I added here, what I did was just to make a slanted line from these 2 inches all the way to the side seam here. Then I just cut it out. Let me come again. The 2 inches you added for the extra allowance for your butt, I just made a slanted line like this, connecting with the side seam, then I cut it out. On the back piece here, I added extra 1 inch to the back, all the way from the crotch line to the top. So that was what I did. And I cut it out the same way I cut out the front piece, making everything align. The down part is same, the wideness is same. The only difference is that for the front and the back pieces, I added extra 1 inch this place. If you have more material, it's advisable you add at least 2 inches to your back piece on your crotch line as well. On the crotch line here, this is a crotch line. For the back piece, you can add up to 2 inches to your crotch line and add extra 1 inch or 1.5 inches to 2 from your crotch all the way to your waist. I hope that is understandable. If there is anything you don't understand, please let me know in the comment section. I will gladly explain. So, and I just cut it out. That is all I did for the front and the back pieces. And also I cut this place open because of the pocket. So here it's equal, it's same. Here it's same, but add extra 2 inches to your back piece on the crotch line and add your allowance as much as you want, 1 inches or even 1 inch or 1.5 inches from the crotch line all the way to your waistline to your back piece. Add it to your back piece and just cut it out. Now I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to be joining these two together now. The two pieces for the back I'll join together, the two pieces for the front I'll join it together. After then I'll come back and show you how you'll be placing them on top of each other before we cut out our band. I've joined the pieces for the palazzo. This is one of the pieces. You can see I already joined it on the crotch line here to the waist. So this is one of the pieces. I'm just going to take the other piece which I've joined as well. You can see this is the back and this is the front. Just place them on each other like this, the right side facing each other. Place them on top of each other like this and you're going to pin it. You pin from here all the way down. If you're not putting pocket, go ahead and just close it on the sides. Do the same for this side. Then you're going to come here, match the seams together, take it from here and close it all the way down, and do the same for this piece as well, for this side as well. Whatever you have here on the waist, just measure it all round. That is what you're going to use to cut out this that you'll be using for your band. So the length now, it depends on what you have here. So after you get, maybe you get 60 inches or 50 inches all the way around, then you can cut out 5 inches for your waistband. So just fold it into two like this and you're just going to place it all round and stitch. Then after then you pass your elastic band, you pass it inside, and that's all for the trouser. Now let's start cutting the top. These are the two pieces I'll be using for the front and the back pieces for the top. It's a long top as you can see, and the length of this top is 35 inches, actually 35 inches, but I added extra 2 inches for the, of course, the hem allowance, so 37. So I cut out 37 inches here for the length. Now let's start from the shoulder. The shoulder is 16 inches divided by 2, 8 inches. On these 8 inches, I'll be marking the armhole, which is 18 inches divided by 2, that's 9 inches. That's 9 inches. On this 9 inches, I'll be imputing the bust measurement. Bust measurement is 38 inches divided by 4, 9.5. I'll be adding extra 2 inches. So let's just extend this line now to the bust line, this shoulder line to the bust line, and determine the midpoint here, 4.5. Come down by 1 inch for your shoulder slope, 1 inch. 1 inch for shoulder slope. Determine the midpoint. On this midpoint, on this now, you're going to be creating arc for your armhole. Now we'll be imputing our waist measurement and the hip measurement from your shoulder to the waist. Okay, is 16 inches. 16 inches, and from the 16 inches, which is the waist, to the hip is 24 inches. On this waist now, The waist is 30 inches divided by 4, that is 15.5. Sorry, that's 7.5. 30 inches divided by 4, that's 7.5. 7.5 plus extra 2 inches for the ease and the joining or the seam allowance. On the hip, we'll be making the hip line is 40 divided by 4, that is 10 inches. I'll be adding extra 2 inches as well for the joining and the free allowance, so that will be 12 ease allowance. So I'll just be connecting this waist to the bust, waist to the bust, then to the hip. But here we will not be making it sharp, it will be curved. Something like this. And on the length of this gown, I'll be transferring the measurement and I have on the hip to display, which is 12 inches, so I'll be transferring the 12 inches here. So connect the 12 inches. After we achieve that, we're going to determine the neckline. To determine the neckline, I'm making it 3.5 inches wide. For the back neckline, I'm making it just 1.5, but for the front, I'm making it up to 3 inches. So the 3 inches connected, and the 1.5. First of all, I'll be cutting the back neckline first, which is the 1.5 inches. After then, I'm going to push in the back piece and cut out the front neckline. Then let's cut the rest. Don't forget your shoulder slope, which is going to be from this neck now to this 1 inch on the shoulder. And you cut it out. Okay, you notice that the down part is not straight like this. It's slanted, is asymmetry. Okay, so to make this easier, you're going to determine the side you want long and the side you want short. For this now, I want the right side to be short while the left side to be long. So the left side will be longer than the right side. What we're going to be doing is that place your fabric like this, flip it to the right side like this, the right side facing up, and pin them together if possible, so to avoid shifting. In order to avoid shifting when you're cutting, just place them as if you have attached the front and the back pieces together. And this is the front and this is the back. How do you know that? Because the back neckline is higher than the front. This is 1.5 inches and this is 3 inches. So this is as if you're wearing your top already. So this place is going to be your right side, while this place is going to be your left side. So because we said we want the right side to be shorter while the left will be higher. So now from this shoulder, you'll be determining how long you want the side, each of these sides to be. So the side for this place now, I want it to be just 30 inches. Actually 28 inches. It's the same allowance 2 inches that make that's why I'm using 30 inches. From the shoulder again, just mark how long you want this to be. Just mark it like this, marking 30 inches. We're leaving this side like that because that is the length we want for this one. So now what you will do is just to connect this your mark, the 30 inches you have here, just connect it to this point here like this. In fact, I didn't even stop here sef, I stopped somewhere here. If you want this place to be more higher, yes, just go up as much as 2 inches, 3 inches, and just connect it to your normal length you have on this side. So that's it, and we cut it out. So this is what we have. Then place them on top of each other like this. You can see that you have both of your cuts on the same side. The right side facing the right side, and this is how you're going to take it to your sewing machine and stitch. Just take it to your sewing machine, close the shoulders, stitch the shoulders here, here, and make sure you close the two sides as well. Then we'll be marking the armhole to determine the armhole we'll be cutting out for our sleeves. This is 10 inches, so I'll be cutting out 10 inches for the armhole on the sleeve. If you want button, go ahead and take the back piece, fold it into two, okay, fold it into two, determine the middle, which is the middle, come down by at least 4 inches and just cut it open. It's a free top, that is why I'm not adding zip. That is how to create space for your button. Let's cut the sleeves. The armhole is 10 inches. Just going to come down here by 4.5. On this 4.5 line, I'll be just be looking for where I can get the 10 inches. Okay, we have the 10 inches here. As you can see, this is 10 inches, it stops here. The length of this sleeve is 21 inches because it has like a band of 1 inch on the wrist. So that will be minus 1 inch for the band. That's going to be 20 inches. Extra 3 inches. So we extra 2 inches for the joining allowance on the shoulder and on the sleeve here. So I'm cutting out 22 inches here. Now let's determine the waist measurement. Let's just make this 12 inches. So the vest, I'll just be gathering it inside the band. That's 6 inches. I cut the both sleeves together. I'll just be notching the middle. For the band, I'll be using this strip, which is about 3 inches wide. Fold into two, we'll be having 1.5 inches. By the time I attach it to the main sleeve, I'll be having at least 1 inch left, and the 1 inch is going to be for the band. Okay, now let's measure the real band measurement, which is 9 inches. As you can see here, I don't want it tight, so 9 inches is fine plus allowance, so I'll be making it 10 inches long. I have the 10 inches here, and I'm going to cut it. Going to be like this. So I'll be cutting out 2 pieces for this. Okay, after I have joined all the pieces together for the top, as you can see, this is what we have. It came out really beautiful. These are the sleeves, and this is the back piece. I'll just be adding button. That is the only thing that remained for me to do on this top. And this is the trouser as well, the palazzo pant. As you can see, the back is higher than the front, and it's pretty comfortable as well. Thank you so much for watching.